I just wanted to come on here and talk about my experience as a disabled person at the Mall of America. My first piece of advice is call ahead and reserve either an electric scooter or a wheelchair. We were there for 2 days, and the first day we didn't call ahead, so just had to pick a wheelchair. There was only one, and I needed one, and my sister in law needed one. So we just traded off. When I was tired, I had the wheelchair. When she was tired, she would take over. The wheelchair itself was $35, and an electric scooter, which we rented the second day, actually, there was two available. It was $40 a piece plus a $25 deposit. So I would highly suggest calling ahead to reserve either a wheelchair or an electric scooter because it really made the difference the second day not to have to walk around. Because you really don't, or at least I didn't really understand how big it was until you're there. It's huge, and there's so many people. And there's so many people who don't care that you're disabled. They're going to go to that store that they want to go to, and they don't care if they cut across or make you have to stop and wait. They're on a mission to shop. So my second piece of advice is to have people there that are watching your back because it would be very easy to get lost in the crowd and separated. That was one thing that we tried really hard to do, that if we did get separated, we were separated in groups so we weren't by ourselves, because let me tell you, it was overwhelming, especially finding parking. My sister-in-law and I were able to go to the west gate and do reserving for the electric scooters. But they have north, south, east, and west, and it really is first come, first serve if you don't call and reserve. So get there early. If you don't have time to call 24 hours in advance, get there early. We were there by 10 a.m., and at the time that we reserved the scooters the day before, there was only one available. So thankfully, because we were there early enough, there was a second one available for my sister-in-law. Get there early. And actually, another piece of advice, take something to drink because it's a long day, especially if you're someone who is there to shop. We had went there for the Crayola experience the first day. And in my opinion, the Crayola experience, which we had won tickets for, uh, it's for little kids more than anything. So I don't know. I did get to name a crayon color. I named lime green Kyle's color. So original. Um, but I don't know. I wouldn't waste my time at the Crayola experience if you don't have children. The second day, we went back and we went to the Nickelodeon universe. And that was pretty fun, actually. Again, it is overwhelming, but the scooter made it easier to get around to all the rides. The one hiccup that we did have while there, they actually corrected. Uh, we wanted to go on the Ferris wheel, my sister-in-law, myself, my brother, and my niece, and they had an elevator for the handicap, but it was shut off at the time because we couldn't push the button or anything. So thankfully, we had enough mobility to climb the stairs. And then when we got up to the top, we noticed that the elevator lights were flashing. So they realized, oh, somebody had called the elevator. They came up to us and asked us if we were the ones who wanted to use the elevator, and we said yes, and they apologized, and we actually got to cut the line, and we got to ride the Ferris wheel twice. So that was really nice that they were able to do that. And I will say, for all the other rides, it was pretty handicap accessible. There were moments I had to go without my crutches to get on the ride, but it wasn't really too bad. If you were fully in a wheelchair, I don't think it would be all that bad. I don't know. My experience was everything was close enough that I was able to walk to it without my crutches, without falling. Thank goodness. Uh, but I don't- it also the rides were kind of draining at the same time. We were only there for a couple hours, and then it was time to go. And I didn't use my tickets to the mini golf. I don't know if I would actually have made it through all the way, having been to the amusement park and then wanting to go to the mini golf, Moose Mountain, I think it's called. But if you're into mini golf, it's there. But again, my advice for going to the Mall of America is be prepared. Be prepared for it to be a long day. Be prepared for people to not care that you're disabled, but really enjoy yourself the best you can. Be there with people that are there to watch your back, and I think you'll enjoy yourself. I can't really speak to shopping at the Mall of America. We went into a few stores, but I didn't really buy anything. We really didn't spend time there to shop while we were at the Nickelodeon universe. My mom and sister-in-law did a little bit of shopping, but I can't really speak to how long you'll be there if you want to shop. I will say they do have elevators, but it is very confusing to navigate if you've never been there without a map. We were constantly checking the kiosk to see where we were at, but even then, there was some confusion. So, if you've been there before, that's awesome. If you haven't been there, look things up before you go. Also, that'll cut down on just trying to get there and just let you have a more streamlined experience.